honestly, if we mess up at the beginning, like it's recording right now, I'll put it like equal distance between us. Speak real quick.
Hello.
All right, good. Just want to make sure it's like picking up well on both sides. When we start, like I'll just cut all this out in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I have a good start. I'm trying to think of like how I want to introduce every episode.
I mean, you just be like, "Hey, welcome back to the CraniumCast." Yeah,
CraniumCast. I think I said CraniumCast podcast on the first one.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's
catchy.
I was like, okay.
All right, I gotta talk louder.
Okay.
Ah ha ha ha!
Oh, you can see the sound waves. It's so loud.
What's popping? Remember when that was a thing?
Okay. Welcome back, guys, to the CraniumCast podcast. I'm your host, Justin, and today I have my friend Danny with us. What's up, Danny?
Hey.
In today's episode, we're going to talk about the coronavirus right now and just kind of talk about how it's affected or impacted things that we care about, us personally, and just how crazy of a situation it is. And I'll start off by saying I know Danny and me have like both talked about it a lot, but wrestling, like sports being canceled in general. Wrestling got canceled right the week before Nationals. The NBA got canceled. It's just a crazy situation.
Yeah, it truly makes me hurt because sports, any sport really, has always been a huge aspect of my life. And it just leaves me bored. Like, because I would come home from work, I'd watch sports, I'd watch baseball, I'd watch basketball, especially wrestling. That's the biggest sport in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's over, it sucks. And I especially feel for the seniors on those teams.
Oh, yeah.
Mainly the wrestling teams in NCAA. Because, like, the NCAA is voting next week to decide if they're going to get another year of eligibility.
Yeah.
So, if they don't, that's kind of bullcrap. But honestly, that's a difficult situation for NCAA to figure out because of all the scholarships and the money allocation and everything like that.
Yeah, it's a rough situation.
And then you have to think, like, do they want to come back and wrestle a whole nother season a week out from Nationals?
Yeah, well then, like, what I was thinking about was, like, who do you give the scholarships to? Is it, like, or for example, Scow said this. He was like for people who had Olympic red shirts, do they get another one now because they didn't get to, like, that one really didn't get put into use?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you only give who do you give the scholarships to? Anyone in general, or like who wrestled that past year, or like people who only qualified for Nationals? Because at that point you had determined that. So I feel like that's fair too. Like it sucks for those who didn't. Man, all right, we'll put a pause on it. Hello.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure my phone worked.
Thanks.
You haven't called me all day.
I'm trying to record my podcast with Danny.
Okay, I'll leave you alone. Bye.
And that's too late. The damage is done, Cindy.
Thanks, Justin.
I hope you're having a good day. I'm glad your phone works.
And actually, it's pretty crappy now that I ruined your podcast.
Well, you live some, you win some, you lose some, you know?
Yeah. Are you at our house?
Yeah.
Is somebody over there?
Danny, we're recording the podcast.
Oh, I didn't know he was like on the computer or
Sorry.
something.
No. Yeah, okay, sorry, my bad. I didn't know if you saw us in the driveway on the camera.
No, I didn't. So, all right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, I love you. Thanks for being on the episode today.
On the what?
On the
Bye. Stupid episode. Bye.
Bye. I guess I'll just leave that in just because it's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my mom. But what were we on about? We were talking about the scholarships and who gets them and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, in regards to scholarships, I mean, the NCAA has enough money to give more scholarships in regards to wrestling. Because don't they only get like 9 per team?
It's 10.
10?
9.9.
And that's at the most of the biggest schools. And these lower level schools who only get a few All-Americans a year get less than that. And then they have kids who are redshirting. They have new incoming freshmen. They have red shirts. So they have all these people who... And, like, you can realistically give these scholarships to a bunch of people.
Right.
But they get so much less money.
Right.
And scholarships, especially in wrestling, you need the money going to these bigger schools.
Yeah, of course. It's weird. I don't know. I really just hate, like, for, like, D3 Nationals got canceled, like, the day of the tournament. Like, they were warming up. Yeah. They had a coaches meeting, and it got canceled. And I'm like, I think that's crazy. Because I was like, well, it's a couple days to, like, get a tournament done. But maybe that's a little bit of a selfish thought. But I know it definitely hurts like the athletes and things like that. And I know seeing like my friends in high school still and everything like that, like people who played sports like baseball, track, tennis, whatever it is they did.
Any of the spring sports.
Yeah, like they're done and their senior career's over. And that's terrible to hear about. Like like it stinks. Yeah, like your senior year. Like I'm sure it does. In the sense of like, you know, you don't get to like enjoy that last year and kind of like make the most of it. Because my senior year in the spring, especially, that was my favorite part.
Yeah,
and that's when we did the most in general as like a friend group.
And that's the most time when, like that's the time for the seniors. Their senior year is when they'll get the most scouts. Where they'll get the most opportunities of people to look at them if they want to pursue it at the next level.
Yeah, like with Branson not being able to go to Virginia Beach or whatever, or like regardless if they does it or not. I don't know if like it's happening at all anymore. But okay.
Well, the Virginia Beach got rescheduled to the last week of May.
Yeah.
The week of their graduation, so they're not going.
So yeah, and that's the problem too, because I know Scout wanted like Branson to go to that before he like really like looked anywhere like committed or anything like that, so it could hope prove himself to these colleges and maybe get a little bit more like people looking at him or a little bit more money maybe. But
the offers he has or the offers he's gonna get.
Yeah, and that stinks. And like I understand that personally from like my career, and like I mean we were both in the same boat in that sense. Like we didn't achieve what we want to, and regardless of your area, what part of the state you're in, what state you're in, how tough it is, like that's it. That's how it is, and you can only control so much, you know.
Yeah.
But and if anything though, like and this is my opinion on it. Like you say you get a bad scholarship, you just that first semester. That first year, you just work to show that you deserve more, you know, and that's all you can do. And other than that, then you just have to start working.
Yeah, it just sucks that people who have worked their entire lives,
oh yeah,
they don't get to do it. They don't get any chance to prove it again.
Yeah,
like the senior year could have been their best year. Like all the seniors of these the colleges, like this was their chance. There was multiple there's multiple wrestlers who were multiple-time qualifiers for NCAAs who have never placed. Like Taylor Lujan.
Taylor Lujan was set to win it. That really hurt me. And that's something I hate is like, even if all these people who qualified, say they only give like they give the people who qualified their year back, you don't know that it's going to play out the same way next year. Like you can hope, or you can work your butt off, but an incoming freshman can come in and do something crazy like the next Spencer Lee, or someone can just mix it up at that weight class, bump up, come down, whatever it is, and it's like, wow, that's crazy. Like, you don't like that year, you can get it back in eligibility, but it'll never play out the same.
Yeah, because so many things had to fall in certain ways for your season to go that way.
Yeah, and
like especially at 184 with Lujan, what does Zahid get another year of eligibility?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like I don't think he should.
No, he was suspended for a reason. Like I love that, I love his wrestling, I love him, but like obviously he got suspended for a reason, and like he didn't have a chance to qualify, so like you don't.
I think like the idea of giving only the qualifiers another year of eligibility is like a good idea, but I don't know.
It probably would lean more towards that, I guess, just because of money, anyways. Because it's like why it's unnecessary.
The main thing I'm more curious about is like the Olympic redshirt years, those kids, because there was like almost 20 like All-American World National Champion wrestlers who took a redshirt to train for the Olympics, which also got postponed until 2021.
That's just crazy, man.
So that gives all these world-class athletes all this time off, and they can't actually train because all these rooms are closed. So even if they did, that's why I'm more glad that they didn't postpone the Nationals. I'm glad they canceled it, because if they say postponed it until May or like early June or whatever, it would not have been the same. Like the athletes practice on a schedule.
Okay, yeah.
So if they stretch it out that long,
it's going to affect like their cycle.
Yeah, their skill isn't going to be at that level.
Yeah.
And especially for wrestlers who wrestle Freco, like that they're focusing on that at that point.
Yeah, that definitely puts a damper in things. And not just like wrestling, but like for me personally, and maybe this is like such a lower stance, and like it's not about people's careers or their being able to go to college because of their athletic abilities and having the opportunity to go and get a degree and better education. But on a lower scale, I came home, I took school off, so I've already kind of been home anyways since January because of my surgery. and I've been home, and I visited my friends at college a couple times, whether it's at my college or I went up to UJ to see my friends one time. But now they're all home, and like everyone's home now from like school, and it's like cool because it's like the idea like, oh, I get to be around these people more, and it's like, yeah, it stinks that like, I hate that for them because like especially if you go to a school you love or you have good friends there, then obviously you want to be around them. But like I'm gonna take advantage of this time to be around you while I can, because I know eventually we're gonna go back to normal, and like our schedules are gonna go back to being busy or whatever, and like we're gonna go back to our lives. But it's gonna be like an extended summer in my mind. But now it's like everyone's quarantined, and rightfully so. I get that you need to spend time and practice social distancing and things like that, or else like it's really gonna, it's not gonna help this issue.
Don't let this fool you. Me and Justin are recording this 6 feet apart.
Yeah, and we both have surgical masks on.
We are practicing social distancing. Don't worry.
We're actually on a call right now, and we're thousands of miles away from each other in an underground bunker.
We're not sitting across a desk.
So, but and it stinks. So, and like I get the reason for it, but like I'm just kind of like bummed out because I hate.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, like I hate being alone. Or I just love being around my friends and people I love. And so it's like for you to be so close again, and like all of us be able to like hang out and do stuff, and we can't right now. That stinks. I hate that.
See, and like obviously, you and I have very different perspectives of it. But last summer was probably like the best summer I've had ever, and
I would still argue that.
Like last 15 years or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really hoping that this virus doesn't affect the summer and how it's going to play out and what it's going to happen with all these kids, and if they're going to want to go back to college for their summer classes.
Holy cow,
or
I
if they're
not.
even going to be open for that.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping at least it doesn't come to that, because like I don't go to school or anything. I work full time. I have a pretty decent job. I make good money. So hopefully we get the opportunity to have fun during the summer and hang out with our friends again. And this time it can actually be a good summer without all of our friend groups being split among different people.
Yeah. And like, I think that's part of that, like, when it comes to summer and just, things happening, and all your memories and everything. I think part of it's a growing up thing for sure. And like, regardless of like, every summer I could probably name like something terrible that's happened or stupid or whatever, and you always have those memories that you pick apart, and eventually they start not to mean as much anymore. But I think part of it's just growing up, and like it's just bound to happen. But like you could argue like even if like what you were saying, like you said last summer was like arguably your best summer, and you said you don't know if I'd feel the same way or whatever. It's like I'd still argue that though. Like every summer it feels like it's an up a notch. But I will say as of recently, since it's been warmer, I know me and Scout drove to Home Depot to help him with something at home a week ago, when it was like hot, and it was like 80 degrees I think, and we had the windows rolled down, and we were driving, and I was like riding shotgun, my arms out the window, I'm just feeling the wind, and I was like remembering that summer going into your senior year.
Yeah, that summer. Yeah, it was a summer either right before. Yeah, that summer.
That was
it was
such a
me,
good
you,
one.
and Scow.
Yeah,
were together every day basically.
Yeah. And we didn't really even do anything crazy.
We did the same stuff every day.
But it wasn't bad, though. I didn't
fun.
care. Yeah.
Obviously, it'd be a little different now, but...
But no, I cherish that. And, like, something I try not to do is, I've probably been bad about it lately just because I feel like after surgery, and then I guess now, too, is, like, it feels like life for me, and I guess everyone else, kind of just been put on pause.
Yeah. And
there's only so much you can do, and you're so limited. And, It stinks, but I have to try to make sure personally, like, and I think everyone can relate to this to an extent, is like try not to focus on it and just let it weigh you down.
Yeah. See, this hasn't really affected my life that much, like the coronavirus or anything like that, because before everything was put on lockdown, I went to work and I went to practice, and sometimes I hung out with my friends.
Right.
Now I just go to work because my job doesn't stop. I do house renovations, so the houses we work on aren't occupied, so we still work. That's it. All I do is work now, though, because I can't hang out with my friends because most of them are, not allowed to leave their house because, like our friend Ethan and Branson, the Bennetts, we call them, like they can't leave the house because their mom has a weaker immune system. So
and that's understandable.
Yeah, so my mom does too, but it's not nearly as bad, and she's recovered from it. But it's still a situation no one's really willing to risk happening.
Yeah.
So,
and I get that too. That's like it's a serious thing. Like for me, it doesn't feel as serious because like I haven't been affected by it yet,
Mhm.
and like, but I recognize that like it's still important, but for people like that though, like with their immune systems, whatever it is, or if they're older or whatever, I definitely like I hate the fact that like Branson and Ethan can't do anything. Like I hate it, like because we're all like within like 5 miles of each other.
All I want to do is play spike ball.
Yeah, we just want to hang out, play spike ball, listen to music, and just have a gay old time.
Literally, like 6 of all of our best friends live within 5 miles of each other.
And it stinks because like we can't do anything, and so it's just like, I feel like, oh man, everyone's out from school right now. It's the perfect opportunity. It's warming up again. Let's go do something. We don't have to go. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just like hang out and play spike ball, and we can't. But like I said, I posted something on my Instagram yesterday, and it's like about just missing wrestling, and I think this is like trying not to let this like consume you in that sense, and just being frustrated about it, and trying to like work on something that you can actually work on. Like personally, I'm trying to just get back into like doing things, whether it's hobbies. Like right now, I started this podcast up because of it.
Yeah.
I want to get back into making videos and editing and doing something fun, just for fun, to pass time or see what I want to do and explore like hobbies. I'm trying to read more. I'm reading a book about Dan Gable.
Reading,
it's okay.
It hasn't resorted to reading yet.
Yeah, I've read like 10 pages of my Dan Gable book.
I kind of want to read that one. But
yeah, it's honestly.
I'm not that desperate yet.
The first, and I won't be on it for long, but like the first couple chapters are basically about how he grew up, and it's about how whenever he made his parents mad, and he lived in Iowa, there was a cornfield across the street because they're in Iowa, and he would run across the street into the cornfield and hide in it for hours until they found him, and then they'd be even angrier. And then he talked about how he was such a great swimmer before he wrestled. And it's just like, man, this is such a book about Iowa because it is so boring so far. But then when he started wrestling, I was like, oh, it got way better. And I was like, oh, this is interesting.
See, and that's the biggest thing in the world, well, in my life, that this has affected is wrestling, because this upcoming Saturday would have been the first Freestyle and Greco tournament.
Man.
And Justin and I are referees for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're not only are we missing out from like doing something we love doing and love doing together, like we're losing money from it too.
Yeah.
So many people are losing money, losing jobs, losing their way of life from this kind of thing.
I was about to be balling on a budget, and now I'm just balling.
Making no money. I mean, I'm still making a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah. I got paid yesterday. Did I already spend a lot of money? Yes, I did.
But I just trying to find things to pass the time. And mainly my thing is and I struggled with this after surgery a lot because like my outlets were wrestling and working out and like I guess socializing.
Yeah, it's so hard to do those things now.
Yeah, and like after surgery for me, I could only socialize if people came to me. I couldn't work out or wrestle yet for a while. And eventually I could like work out slightly, and then I wrestled for a week before like all this quarantine stuff happened. Yeah. But like now, you can work out, but it's very like homemade. If your gyms are still open, your gyms are open.
And not only that, it's just isolating. Because you're not doing it with the people you love doing it with.
Yeah.
And that's why like if I went just to like go run by myself, what's the point? Like
besides like the personal benefits, but it's like I
don't care about my personal benefits. Like, I want to have fun with my friends.
Yeah, I'm trying to go with Karen and Susan at 8 a.m. for their morning jogging.
Honestly, I'm gonna get some leg warmers.
I got the headbands and the wristbands, but no, like I get that, and it's like working out such an outlet, like all that stuff's an outlet for me, and now it feels like it's really hard to accomplish all those things, and so finding like after I had surgery, it was like I want to wrestle because I was having such a bad time with just personal things going on, and it was like if I could wrestle right now and just like kill myself working out for an hour or whatever or 2 hours and just like dying at practice, afterwards I will feel like I did something and I'll feel accomplished, and I'll slowly just start it's like therapeutic. And
like I get that, because like when I was coaching wrestling the youth kids, all I want to do is like wrestle, but I can't beat up 9-year-olds obviously. And anybody who knows you and I know that we overthink everything that ever happens in our lives.
That's us.
We overanalyze every text message that is sent to us. If a Snapchat doesn't have words, we think this person hates us.
It's all about the selfie and how like what the selfie looks like.
If somebody sends a picture of their left forehead, then their right forehead, there's a difference. There's always a difference. But normal people with normal brains don't
care that much.
They don't know this.
Yeah, they haven't looked into it. There's levels to it.
Now that everyone's home, their true selves are showing. Some of these people are buns, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate it because like, and I've talked about this before. Not to throw shade at anyone because like I love these people, but like a lot of my friends from Athens are like this. They're not buns, but they're
No, you guys are buns too.
no no they're like they're all
I'm
like
not friends with any of you.
I love wow wait hold on no they're great people, and they're fun to be around. I love them, but like a lot of them are very introverted and they're very like they're fine with being alone and having alone time. And so like when I come to like texting them or trying to hang out and things like that, especially like not right now but in general, like they don't always care to do that as much as I do. And like I think one, just because I'm so obsessed with like not being at home, and I need to take a step back and try and take a note from them, but at the same time they can definitely take a note from me and be like, let's go do something. But I don't understand how people are like that. I don't know, like I never wanted, like the last time I wanted to be inside was like in middle school. I would just play like video games all day, but even then I was playing with people.
See, like I'm okay doing literally anything with my friends, but most of the time I force myself to go do stuff because I have very few friends where they'd be okay and comfortable just sitting down watching TV and just hanging out and like doing nothing for hours.
Griffins.
Yeah.
We watched Game of Thrones, and I was like, at first I was like, I've never seen this show.
Because I always feel a need to be entertaining when I'm with people.
I
always feel pressure to where I have to be the one doing something. I have to be the one initiating ideas. I have to be the one doing everything and leading everything. And I think that like it drains me a lot more than it does fuels me, because like you as selfish as it is to say, you never feel like you get the appreciation that you want, because like you shouldn't do things for selfish reasons, and you always try to do good things for other people. And I feel like I do a really good job of doing that. I try to, like, I care a lot about people,
right?
But sometimes I want people to care about me too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's human nature to want to want what you put in, and to get that. And sometimes, especially like how me and you are big overthinkers, it's just like you never know. Like I question a lot of times with certain people just because maybe they're not as like expressive or open about things as I am, and so it's like when they're like that, I'm like, do they care? Am I annoying? Whatever. Because like I'll say this like with Griffin and them, like I hung out with them and it was like, you know, great time. I spent the night there. I hung out at Griffin's for 2 days, and it was like it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
We literally didn't even do anything. We just sat upstairs watching Game of Thrones or playing like Xbox, and that was it. But it was cool because everyone was together.
Yeah.
But like, before that, like I was like, in the back of my head, I would just be like, you know, like we're not hanging out as often as we used to, and I'm sitting here like I don't know. I just feel like if they're not like hitting me up as much as I try to them, then like what's the reasoning? But you never know what's behind the scenes either and stuff like that. And it's just I hate that. I hate being such an overthinker for those things because it's you can't
like you can
can't let that consume you.
Yeah, you can give somebody all you got, and they might appreciate it, and they'll feel like they'll feel appreciative of it, but like they might not be able to show that.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel like they don't care.
Yeah, you never know, and that's what's so tough is like judging people's reactions, intention, like understanding what their true like emotion behind something is. I guess
it's as expressive of my emotions and feelings as I am. It sucks when somebody else isn't, because like my whole thing is I don't lie. I always tell people what I think. I always ask people questions about things that I'm told. I always tell them what I'm feeling. And so when people don't do that, I'm always like, how do people lie? Like I really don't get that.
Yeah, that's tough because I mean like when you're the one going through, you're like, why would anyone ever lie? But then like, you know, maybe not you, but in general, people like, I mean, everyone does it to an extent, but it's like a lot of people, you know, a lot of times people might feel like it's a white lie, and especially I think those are the worst ones, or sometimes at least, just because like I might tell you like a white lie just so like I don't hurt your feelings or something doesn't happen or whatever, but then like when you find out I lied about it and you don't know my reasons for lying, it just makes it worse because then you're like, wow, like if you felt the need to lie about, like it affects you worse. Oh man. But
see, but off that reaction, if you know it's going to get worse because of lying, why lie? Why not just tell them from the start?
I think you just have to go through. I went through that kind of stuff. I would sit there and I would lie to people.
You'll never catch me in a lie.
Whatever.
We
lie. Get this.
Do I avoid some things? For sure.
Here's some things right now. But no.
Try me.
I did this. I went through this kind of things, and like I'm hoping. and everyone goes through, like, I don't know, I've had it happen a few times, but it's like I quickly learned from it though. I hope that like I would tell a lie about something that happened, not because I did anything wrong or not because something bad happened, but because I was scared of like something happening, like it being misinterpreted or like misunderstood.
So tell people your true intentions.
Yeah, I know, but like, well, I mean, I had to learn that the hard way. Like, I get that, but it's like in the moment, that's how I felt, and so I was like, well, if they just never know, they never know, and it's never, I don't have to ever approach that situation, and I never have to go through that because I was
They always find out though.
yeah,
They always find out.
yeah, and so I was just like, once I found that out and like I went through that, I was just like, well, I gotta like quit doing this because it made it way worse. Then I just started like telling the truth. It was just all I was out of fear. A lot of it was out of fear. And that's not like justifying it, but like I wasn't sitting there trying to do anything malicious necessarily. It's just like it was out of fear. And after that, like I was like, okay, this isn't working for me, so I need to quit. And now it's just like, yeah, the truth is probably a better route.
Yeah. And on a much lighter note, I really hope they don't cancel duels.
Oh, yeah. Junior Duels is a national tournament over the summer. I went to it for my first time last year, and Danny's looking to go this year to ref with us.
I wrestled in it my senior year of high school.
Yeah. It's a really cool time.
And Justin and I were planning on going together this year. We were hoping to be roommates, but if they cancel it, it'll never happen, and then I'll be sad. Because I really love reffing, because it's a chance for me to, like, still be involved with what I love.
Yeah. The hospitality was great too. The food was great. Yeah. I ate a brownie every day. It was great. They were big brownies.
Especially at Noonan High School. Shout out Noonan High School. Y'all's hospitality room last year slapped.
Never know.
Yeah. Because they were probably only gonna have first chance qualifiers in state.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Because first chance qualifiers were scheduled for April 20th, I believe, at Alexander. But USA Wrestling isn't allowing any local tournaments to happen until April 20th. So, no one really knows.
Oh, man.
You're not being very quiet.
Yeah, no, I keep banging my laptop on everything. I'm sorry, guys. It's a work. I'm trying to, like, mess with my laptop. But, yeah, no, this whole situation in time has been, it's definitely a big learning experience. And I think this whole time has just been like a big learning curve for everyone, and hopefully, like I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to take advantage of it and try and like not look at it as like a down thing and just try and look at the positives and take advantage of what I can.
It's a good time for self-reflection.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm just like I don't want to do that. I'd just rather would go do something stupid with my friends or skate or like wrestle. But you have to do these things eventually though, and
hopefully things return soon. As long as people stay home, wash your hands, we flatten the curve. And then everything returns back to normal. Hopefully, no later than like May.
Yeah, oh man, even then, but still, yeah, definitely.
It's only like 2 months.
Holy cow. But yeah, thanks guys for coming out and listening to this episode. If you've made it this far, I hope so.
Yeah.
But this is technically the first episode where we've really like kind of
talked about anything.
It's been like this is kind of an idea of what to expect for future ones. This is probably they probably will be around 20 to 40 minutes at the most. Don't want to make them too long and ramble on too much, but
yeah, we know kids our age don't have very big attention spans, especially our friends.
Yeah, so yeah, this is just a good idea of what to expect. But anyways, guys, thanks for coming out and thanks for listening, and thanks
for having me.
Yeah, anytime. I'm looking to have different guests and just people on here, and even multiple people at once.
Yeah.
But maybe most will have to be longer episodes just because.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
But I know I might not be able to be on here pretty often. We live pretty far away, so.
Yeah, the social distancing thing is really killing the scheduling of the show right now.
Yeah, the 2 miles apart from our houses is it's wild.
Yeah. My caravan has not working. My camels are malnourished.
My snow dog can't travel in this weather.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming out, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Stay casty.